Hello, I'm Pastor Wayne. I wanted to make this video for those of you that worship with us over the internet and let you know what God has been doing here at First Baptist Fort Ogden. It's been a pretty awesome trip over the past few years. And I just wanted to share with you what we feel God is doing now, and we're going to be looking toward the future. 20 years ago, we were running about 70 people in worship. And we were in a location that was a couple of blocks off the main highway, and people driving by on Highway 17, many of them probably did not even know we were there. We began to grow, and we ended up going to 2 services, and we realized that we were going to need more room, and we prayed about it and discussed it for some time and decided we would relocate the entire facility up on Highway 17, and we began to look for property in that area, and we began to purchase pieces of property. The first piece was a 5-acre piece that we purchased, and one of our deacons, Ralph Hamilton, and I went to Bartow and talked to the road department about where Highway 17 would be when they widened it. And so we bought the property up to that particular point, thinking that we would be facing Highway 19 or 17. And then we acquired an 8-acre piece of land that was an orange grove from a company called Winterden. And the lady that owned the property had unfortunately passed away, and her daughter was up north, I believe in the Dakotas, and she was in a coma in a hospital. We sent the information to her husband, and he said if she comes out of the coma, we'll have her sign it. Well, she did, and they sent the paperwork back, and that was a second piece of property. A third piece of property that we acquired was 4 acres, and it belonged to a couple that had worked some time for Joe Gibbs Racing, and they were remodeling a wood frame house, and unfortunately the house was struck by lightning and it burnt to the ground. And we offered to purchase that remaining property from them. They agreed to sell it to us. The gentleman had said he didn't want to live next to a church, but 3 months after they began that property, I was able to baptize him in our church. So God's hand has been in the acquisition of the property all through this process. We ended up with $267,000 worth of debt, and I was concerned because there were only 70 people in worship, and then Charlie hit, and I was really worried because now how in the world are we going to pay this off? But we did. In the process of paying that off, our people went out into the community and began to help people out of their own pocket, putting tarps on their houses, later putting roofs on their houses, and God blessed through all of that process. We had work crews from all over the country that went out into the community and basically promoted our church, and our church continued to grow in a more rapid rate. And as we began to decide what kind of building we needed, we settled on our current design. We stepped out on faith because we wanted to finish the building, but we were worried about the large mortgage payments, and so we just trusted God. We decided to finish the entire facility. We did. We had to borrow $1,500,000 in order to finish the property. We raised the rest of the money. In the past 4 years, we have paid that $1,500,000 mortgage down to $260,000. And that's been a pretty amazing trip. God has blessed through some large contributions from some of our members, but basically we've been paying as a fellowship of believers, we've been paying that mortgage down. Now we find that we have maxed out our new building. All the rooms are being used for Bible study. A year ago, we partnered with the Grace Christian School, and they moved into our facility, and they have maxed out with approximately 170 students studying in Christian school. That's been a real blessing, and it's turned out to be a wonderful partnership. But we need to pay off our mortgage, and we need to build a new youth facility that will house both our youth ministries, our young adult ministries, and a portion of the Grace Christian School. And that's the purpose of this video today. I'm asking you to get involved in what God is doing in Fort Ogden. Be part of the blessing that we're reaching these young families and these young people. This Sunday, 12 of our seniors will be graduating. They'll be going out into the community. They'll be representing our church. They'll be assuming leadership positions, perhaps even nationally. And we're proud of that. We want to continue to minister in the way God has given us to minister. If you have been blessed, and you can in turn bless by helping us become debt free, any excess money that comes in excess of the mortgage will be spent and dedicated to the new youth facility. I want to thank you in advance for what God is going to do. God bless you, and thank you.